How's it going, YouTube? Raj here. Hope you guys are doing well. Today I'm going to be reviewing a fragrance from the brand Roja Parfums, and this fragrance is called Scandal. This is part of his Parfum Cologne lineup, which has been recently introduced. I've got decants of all of them, and so I'm going to be reviewing all of them one by one. So the idea behind the Parfum Cologne range is to create a fragrance which has the lasting power of a parfum but the freshness of a cologne, and he's done that with not all of his men's line, but there's Danger, there's Scandal, Enigma, what else is there? There's Vetiver, Elysium already existed. So yeah, I'm going to talk about Scandal. Okay, so a few things before I get into the more technical details and the description of the fragrance. So Scandal, like all of his Parfum Cologne fragrances, maybe except for Elysium, they used to be eau de parfum versions. So they were literally called Scandal Eau de Parfum. They came in 100 ml bottles, and at one point they sold for £225. That quantity was then cut in half. The price was kept the same. And then that line was discontinued, and so now they've come back with the Parfum Cologne range at that more accessible price range, shall we say. And I really like that because I kind of feel like it's a great way to access a scent if you don't want to buy the Parfum concentration, which is going to cost you £375 for a 50 ml. So yeah, so I was quite glad that they got these back in they sort of have introduced this line. I used to own Fetish Eau de Parfum, Scandal Eau de Parfum, Enigma Eau de Parfum, and so I was quite interested to see whether these ones were different from the originals. From what I could see, Fetish and Reckless are not going to have Parfum Cologne creations, but we'll see. So as I said, I've got a decant of this one, and as you can see, it's not completely empty. I do normally like to wear my decants and samples right till the end, but as I said, I used to have this fragrance in the Eau de Parfum, so I know it very well, and after a few sprays and a few wearings, a few days of wearing this one, I was pretty sure that I didn't need to wear this one down to the end. So in terms of the notes on the Roja Parfum website, whether all of these notes are in this version and the Parfum version also, I'm not sure, but I'm going to list them all, and there are a lot as usual. In the top there's lemon, bergamot, petitgrain, spearmint, lavender, basil and tarragon. In the heart there's lily of the valley, rose de may, May rose, jasmin de grasse, so jasmine from the French city or town of Grasse. There's violet, and in the base there is rhubarb, cardamom, clove, nutmeg, moss notes, patchouli, vetiver, cedarwood, cashmere wood, sandalwood, tonka bean, labdanum, ambergris, and musk. It's often been said about Roja Parfum fragrances that there is a there are base notes, and then there are deep base notes which kind of unfurl over time, which most of the time is the case. So the first thing I have to say is that, I've owned the EDP and now it's discontinued, and this one I really can't tell much of a difference. I don't have them side by side, so I'm not 100% sure, but I really found it like very almost the same as the original version, which is really, really good because I love this fragrance. I really, really like it. Performance is very good for a freshie. I have been wearing this one actually in colder weather, which I was a little bit unsure about doing, but it lasted very, very well. I just say that because this is more of a springtime, summertime and an autumn fragrance, but you know what? Over the past few weeks and few months since I got this, it has worked really, really well in cold weather. So I would say year round. I would say you can definitely pull this off in more casual scenarios and also formal scenarios. It has a very masculine appeal to it. I would say it's traditionally masculine in this kind of citrus aromatic or like fougere type sort of genre, which is very classically masculine, but I could see a woman wearing this and enjoying it as well. It very much has an old school type feel, but a more refreshed, more higher quality version of that genre. I think it's maybe one of the best in its genre. So going on to the scent, it's a really beautiful scent. If you know fragrances like Eau Sauvage from Dior, the fragrance that came out in the 60s, if you know Caron, Third Man or Troisième Homme, scents like that, you know, you're maybe familiar with maybe like a Colonia Essenza from Acqua di Parma, these types of classic fragrances. I wouldn't go as far as like Brut fragrances like that. It's in the family, but not the same quality. The ones I mentioned before are really, really, really nice fragrances, but this one I feel like sits at the top of the tree. The ingredients for me just smell like really great quality. There is this beautiful lemon notes that is mixed in with this very, very sugary sweet mint that I find so addictive. There's a herbal quality to this fragrance as well, almost like a vanillic sweet grassy vetiver note in here, which really, the opening is really sublime. I really like it a lot. How many times can I say really? Hopefully no more. But yeah, you know, what can I say? I think the opening has that zestiness, that crispness. I would also say it kind of reminds me of Xerjov's 1861 Renaissance, which is a fragrance I need to get back in my collection actually. So it kind of is in that ballpark. Very, very nice, sweet, freshly cut grass kind of aromas coming through here, and it's lovely. So this is the Pour Homme Cologne version, and I haven't, on skin anyway, tried the Parfum version, so I don't know really much about that, but maybe some of the more heavier, darker notes like the sandalwood and the tonka bean and the labdanum, which I mentioned on the Roja Parfum website, come through in that one, but not so much with this. I do find this to be on the lighter side. It does have a very uplifting quality. I think the lavender is just so nice in here. And actually I noticed you can get a lot from the fragrance just by smelling the cap or the nozzle, and just from the nozzle it's really quite excellent. It's almost piney. The lavender is done there, is added in just the right amount of dosage without coming across as too herbal or sweet or maybe grandmothery like. You know, lavender is often associated with that type of thing, but it's just done delicately, and it's just very balanced fragrance, very gentlemanly fragrance. I believe when I had the Scandal Eau de Parfum bottle, I think I gave it to my dad because I knew that he would like that type of fragrance, so I think I ended up passing it on to him. This is full bottle worthy for me. It is a lot of money, and look, those other fragrances I mentioned, the Dior, the Acqua di Parmas, you know, those types of fragrances, Caron, there are many in this genre actually, to be honest, quite a lot to mention. You could still smell great wearing those. You don't have to spend this type of money. I feel like maybe to spend full retail on this, you have to be either have a lot of money, or you could be an enthusiast, or maybe you save up for a long time, but it's certainly an investment. And I think it's a nice entry level into the whole brand, Roja Parfum, which on the whole, I like. I think it's a good brand. So guys, my rating for this fragrance, I'm gonna go high. I'm gonna go 9 out of 10. Yeah, really good fragrance. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Do you find any differences with the Eau de Parfum? Do you think the Parfum is worth it? Or do you think this is just completely overpriced and not worth it at all? Whatever you have to say, say it. Check me out on Instagram. Like and subscribe here if you're interested. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.